Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of our city's XXL Let's Play Berika. So in this episode, I've gone ahead and messed around with mods, so one or two things are a little bit different, and it's mainly to do with the economy. I ended up fucking up the economy a wee bit. Basically I'm up to 15,000 again, which is great. However, I messed around with a few things. Basically, I wanted to get my mods to work, and I have mentioned it a few times that my mods haven't been loading correctly. Some of them have, but the mods that I wanted was a stadium pack, which if we go into leisure, we still don't have, which is very odd, but there is a way to get that, which I'm going to use in this, and then we're going to revert. Now that doesn't make much sense right now, it will soon. So, first of all, I want to go ahead and address the electricity issue because it is a bit of a problem. We're going to jump into omni-corp. We're going to be doing a lot of omni-corp sorting out today because I want to go ahead and play around with this mod, which is to do with stadiums mainly. There's one or two other ones which I could make use of, however. Then we also have unskilled workers. I probably need to sort people out a wee bit as well. I want to deal with heavy industry manufacturing mainly in this episode. Sort that area out as well, and push for 50,000 people. It's not going to happen this episode, but we'll start to push for it anyway. So if we go into omni-corp and actually look at this properly here, electricity, we're losing -1 tokens. The bottom line is, I believe we just need another power station. We've got a small power plant here. Obviously that's not just enough these days, as our city is growing quite a bit. So I'm going to jump into utilities. I'm just going to build another one, quite simply. I can't remember how much these cost a month. They don't really cost that much a month, so it's really not that bad, and we've got the money to spend. Some companies over here are having a financial issue. Number of skilled workers is the issue. Basically we need some skilled housing, which I'll very quickly go ahead and place all the way over here. And what I am going to do is, I'm going to place skilled housing I think along the top here actually. As a first. I'll place some housing along there. I might continue with this trend, I might not, I'm not really at all sure, but there we go. So there's some extra skilled housing in there, and that should deal with that wee financial issue. So very quickly we'll go back into omni-corp, and I think everything is good right now, to be honest. So, going back to mods and talking about leisure. The leisure stuff I've placed in this game so far has not been that exciting. All it really has been is the occasional basketball court, for example, here and there. As you can see in parts of the map, it's not that good unless you're near the stadium. So I want to go ahead and improve that. And I also want to change the stadium. The only reason the Unite Centre is actually here is because I couldn't go ahead and get another stadium in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to cheat necessarily, but I can't get access to my mods unless I unlock all buildings. Now, you might be thinking, well, don't unlock all buildings because that is going to ruin the series. I can temporarily unlock all the buildings, only place down stadiums and then turn that back off, which is what I'm going to do. So, to do this we need to go into menu, we need to go into options, miscellaneous. I'm going to go in here and turn expert mode. It basically just unlocks all the buildings, which is very nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come into here. Now I'm only going to build stadiums. I'm not going to go ahead and build anything else out of this. You get a lot of different things with this, which is quite exciting, and I will show you what you get. So you get stadiums. As you can see, I'm not going to go ahead and build these, and these are really not expensive. It's a really good mod, this, just because it is like a cost benefit. It is really, really good to have. The person who created it purposely made the stuff really, really cheap, which I really like, and that's why it's just one of my favourite mods in the game. You get lots of different stuff with it, so you get like an Olympic stadium, which is huge. We're not going to build that. You get like a large football stadium, baseball stadium, I was about to say basketball there. So you get a few different things, which I'm going to place probably 2 of them. What I think I'm going to do is place, I'm just trying to think, I'm going to get rid of the United Centre here, just because I don't mind it, but it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace you with something else. So if we knock you down, then what I am going to do is I'm probably going to go ahead and put in something, I I don't know which stadium I'm going to go for. I might go for, I want to try build a soccer or a football stadium and a baseball stadium, realistically. I don't think we're going to be able to get a soccer stadium, and we're definitely not going to be able to get a football stadium in there at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in a... Actually, I could go ahead and put this elsewhere on the peninsula though. Do I want to put it near downtown? I don't think I really do. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the baseball stadium there, and I'm going to build the football stadium down here in a less populated area. I realise modern stadiums now are built sort of like outside of cities where there's loads of space, but I'm thinking in my country, traditionally stadiums are built in like really cramped places just because some stadiums are that old. Like the team I support, their stadium, they've been at their location for 100 years and it's pretty much in a housing estate, so which is kind of weird. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this in probably about there. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll come back to that part later actually, because we've still got this extra thing turned on here, are all the buildings unlocked, so I don't want to go ahead and mess with too much. I'm going to go ahead and add in just a wee few additional features here. So we've got a tennis court, which I'm just going to go ahead and place somewhere. It doesn't really matter where tennis courts get placed. These are just little extra things. These aren't too important. I will build a tennis club over here as well, because I think the high-end people would probably have one of those. So it's got two of them down. There's also one or two other things. A football pitch. This football pitch looks really shady actually, but we're going to go ahead... Actually, should we go for that or should we go for... There's a swimming pool as well actually we could go for. This is really, really small though. I'm going to go ahead and add this in. We'll add this in over here. Or right beside the water, would that make sense? Yeah, it would have to make sense. So we'll go ahead and build that there. And what other stadiums have we got? I thought we had another football pitch. Maybe I don't. So I'll go ahead and install one of these football pitches as well. This is a more realistic looking one, a realistic looking playing field. As you can see, the playing field is, you know, it's a bit under the weather. It's not exactly the nicest thing, but it's something you'd have in a skilled / unskilled housing area. So I think that will do. What I'm going to do for the large stadium is we're going to leave that for now. So we've got one stadium in here. Hopefully in general that's improved the leisure satisfaction, because that's what I was really going for. And as you can see, we're pretty much all at green. So what I'm going to do is very quickly just jump back into menu. I'm going to jump back into miscellaneous. I'm going to turn expert mode off. And now as you can see, we don't have, for example, everything unlocked. Elites is locked again, and if we go into leisure, you can see the stadiums have magically disappeared. We might go ahead and put the United Centre in downtown. I think that would make sense. I'm thinking about like Madison Square Garden, something like that, which is in the heart of a downtown area, but for now we're just going to go ahead and leave it. I do want to go ahead though and add in a wee bit more detail to the stadium we have just put down, however, which I think is a good idea. So in a game like Skylines, you'd have loads of car park mods. There are some car park mods which I managed to install just for this episode. I need to be able to find them though. I think it's in decoration, yeah, it's here. So, oh, they're not snap either. That's really bloody annoying. So we've got different things here we can go ahead and do. So I'm going to have to build the road first of all. So if we do, I'm not too sure what kind of road I want. So for this, it's going to be just thin roads actually. I'm not going to have large avenues. So this is like the stadium specific car park, I think. Or maybe we would be best actually having a really thick road coming around here. I think a luxurious avenue would be a bit too much to have though, would it? No, maybe not actually. So if we build you along there and then have you connecting to there, that's a good idea actually, there we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build off of this. So if we jump back into my parking lots, as you can see here, this is what we're going to go for. I want to sort of line this up with roads, those smaller roads. I'm going to have smaller roads coming off this luxurious avenue we have just built. Just go ahead and build that like that. And then let's see what we can do with these different parking lots. So we've got some corners here and we've got a whole larger parking lot as well. I want to work out where the entrance really is here. There's not really much of an entrance. There we go, there is there. But I can't seem to place it at the edge of a road, which is really annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill in an area. So let's go ahead and fill this area in here. If we go ahead and do that, and then we do... See, that's looking a bit silly though. Or is it looking silly? I'm not at all sure actually. I don't mind that. Those are at different heights, it looks like. Or that one's a bit lower down. That looks a bit silly. But at least it's putting cars into them, which is good. Though they don't load very well. Or maybe that's just because I placed it down. But unfortunately stuff isn't snapping here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this road here. Like so, and then I'm going to go back into my customs here, and I'm just going to, I guess, align the different... Where are you? There you are. I guess I'm just going to pretty much align the different... I'm just going to place these along here randomly, like so. Does that look a bit stupid? I don't think it looks too bad actually. It gives a wee bit more detail, and it'll do for now. So we'll add you in there. I can't get another one in there. We'll probably get another 2 in here. Like so. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is just add basically a wee border around them all. So I'm going to add in a small... Actually no, I think I'm just going to put woods around it again, to be honest. So what I'm going to do, I'll probably add a marketplace out front here though, just beside the stadium, or like an urban plaza kind of thing. So if we jump back out of that again and go into our different kinds of decoration, we've actually got some other mods installed here. I'm not at all sure where these have came from. I might have installed them. I uninstalled and I installed a few different things in between the last 2 episodes. So what about this here, the modern plaza? That looks awful. We could go with traditional market. So what's the difference between a posh and a modern plaza area? I don't really know. Why don't we go ahead and try... We'll just put a wee small marketplace in there, and then we're going to get rid of this over here very quickly. If I can get the tool, destroy you. We'll just go ahead and put another marketplace in there, and then we'll put some light trees in this area here, and in that area there as well. So there we go. So that is the new stadium. I don't really like the marketplaces like that actually, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of them and just add in light trees as well, because I think that's a good idea. So that's our first stadium. Stadium, as I said, it didn't cost a lot to build. It has a very low... Okay, that has a 5,000 monthly cost, and we're actually making a loss right now, which is not too good. However, it really does help our city's overall leisure satisfaction, and that seems to be pretty set now for the time being, so we're going to go ahead and leave that. As you can see though, we are now making a loss, and we need to go ahead and make a profit. So we have some jobs available, which I'm going to go ahead and deal with. What I might do is raise the taxes. Oh, I know why. Why have we got elites unlocked? Yeah, there's a problem. For some reason you seem to be back on expert mode, I don't know why, but... Right, so elites are locked again, so I've not built anything that I can't have. It's only been stadiums and car parks I've built, so we are fine. There's a bit of problem with you executives as well, but that is just because... Well, jobs are a problem, are they not? Oh no, there's jobs available actually, that's quite good. Probably the stadium hires executives, that's what I'm guessing anyway. Yeah, really god, you need executives and elites to function properly, and you don't have either, so that's not too good. Anyway, we need to go ahead and build some skilled housing. We'll build a wee bit. What I think I'm going to do now actually, I was looking while I was editing this last episode, I think I'm going to change the orientation to this instead. Would that be better going forward? I think it would be better going forward actually. Maybe not. I don't know. What I am gonna do... No, I'm gonna leave it for now. I'll leave it for another block. It'll have to be a wee bit smaller. I am a tiny bit concerned though about that road we did build at the stadium, because a lot of vehicles seem to be using it for like another through road for traffic, and it does seem relatively busy, but I'm gonna leave it as a through road. I could always make it a dead end though. but I'm pretty happy with how this area looks. If we actually have a look in the stadium, it looks really, really nice. So this is the look of it inside. I mean, it's not that detailed, but I mean, you can tell it's a baseball stadium, and that's the main aim. I'm not really at all sure if this is modelled after a baseball stadium. I have been to a baseball game before, actually. It was kind of a weird one. It was the Philadelphia Phillies, and it was really boring, I thought, to be honest. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good family event to go to, but there was just no atmosphere. Compared to like European football games, there was just nothing. So I found it a bit boring. Anyway, we've rambled about a lot of different stuff today. What I'm going to go ahead and do is add in some more housing for the executives. I don't need that large area, that's for sure. So I'll go ahead and add in 12 more houses. Again, their houses are so weird. I really don't know why. Is your shop satisfaction still low? You've got like a whole shopping area over here. I really don't understand. I'm going to actually go ahead and have a look at the general satisfaction for shops, because I really don't think it is that good. So you're relatively happy. There's no shops downtown, so you're not happy. But no one lives downtown, so really, I mean, you're not that upset about it, are you? No, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and speed the game up a wee bit as well, just so we can kick things on. And there we go. So we have unemployment in all sectors again, which is what I want to see. So the final thing I want to focus on in this episode is dealing with this area over here. So it's not being neglected, but you know, it could do with being a wee bit better. And I want to just kind of go ahead and deal with this. I want to go ahead, so we've got an extra heavy industry token which we can outsource, same with water. I'm just trying to make us some money right now. Waste is still an issue, so we're still buying 2 waste tokens. I'm just going to have to go ahead and build more dumps actually. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to add one more block for now. Just one single block of manufacturing. If we downsize that one more, like so. Then hopefully that'll maybe deal with that extra heavy industry token, turn it into manufacturing. I really don't know, I've got a lot of dumps up here / junkyards. So if we jump into utilities and waste, I'm just waiting on, finally we've got this here, waste treatment centre, though that does cost quite a bit of money. And there's also a waste bank. There's not really that good waste buildings actually. I'm going to go ahead and build like one of them. But unfortunately I can only build one of them. That does help out by 10%, so I might use one less token. Hopefully it maybe reduces both, but it doesn't look like it's reducing either right now, so I'm probably just going to have to go ahead and either outsource or build more dumps and junkyards, which I really don't want to do because it just looks awful on the landscape. But saying that, if we do keep it up against the edge of the map, then it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Going ahead though and zooming back in to our industrial area, basically I'm going to fill out eventually this whole peninsula. Maybe not this whole peninsula, actually a good portion of it. What I'm going to pre-do actually is build for the future again. So I'm going to go ahead and build an expressway here. Just so we don't overlap this, because I don't want to go ahead and fill this whole area up and then have to destroy some to build an expressway. So what I'm going to do is have you go to there, have you just basically follow the coast. Just so we can maximize the land. And what you're going to eventually do is go right round here. I'm going to stop you there for now, and you will eventually come right round, join on with this road here. Even though there will be bridges probably going over from there to there. Actually, should I go ahead and build that right now? We'll leave it for now, but that's definitely something to think about. But everyone seems to be relatively happy. All my different groups are happy. There is unemployment and executives. I can't really offer you as much right now though. Just the way that the population is sitting. Unfortunately manufacturing really hasn't done much. We're at 7,000 plus though, which isn't too bad. I'm going to go ahead and raise the taxes by 1. See if that makes much of a difference. I really don't think it will. I overall want to go ahead and lower the corporate taxes just because they're relatively high. They're not really overly happy about that, which is understandable. But that's making me not really much more money, to be honest. It's really not been worth it. But they're wanting more houses for skilled workers. I don't know why when there's an unemployment. There is 30 jobs available. I'm guessing that's maybe a new manufacturing plant opening up or something. Not really at all sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this episode up here because I think that's really a nice point to end at. So we've really not overly done too much in this. I sorted out some leisure issues because leisure was a wee bit of a factor. I added some more housing for executives. I added some manufacturing. I've really not done too much in this episode, just little bits here and there to help out the city. But in the next episode, we're definitely going to go ahead and start pushing for 58,000 people, just because I want to get public transport into this, because if we go ahead and look at our roads very quickly, you can see here that we're starting to get real big issues with our roads, especially in the middle of the city, which is totally understandable. I mean, there's a road going right at the middle. Why wouldn't you have traffic issues? So we need to go ahead and sort of deal with that and help that out. And there's 1 or 2 choke points as well, which I've created, not purposely, but we're going to have to go ahead and deal with at some point anyway. So hope you have enjoyed watching this episode. If you've got any suggestions for my city or you want to see me build anything, then go ahead and do that down in the comment section below. And that's all for this video, so thanks very much for watching and I'm out.